Hello to everyone who is watching the recording. I have Ali with me live this morning. Hello, darling. And so this is a Reiki hands-on healing session. My name is Ariana, and we will just be going through some basic hands-on healing positions so that you can practice on your own whenever you want. Thank you to those of you who have sent through your permission for me to work with your energy as I am instructing as well, particularly those in Europe who will be asleep now. So thank you. And also to those of you watching the recording, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about this practice at all. I'm going to change the view. Ali, can you hear me, darling? You can just type in the chat. Just want to make sure that my sound is on, please. Yes, great. Thank you, darling. Okay, so with that being said, I'd like to pin myself. And we will begin. So the practice of Reiki is an energetic practice. It is about calling in an energy from universal source. It's universal source energy. And we draw it in through our own bodies, through our hands in particular, and place our hands on specific spots on our body to help bring in a sense of healing. This is an energy medicine practice and one that you can do every single day. Now, in today's practice, we will be working through each of these positions for 3 minutes. That will take us up to approximately 30 minutes, maybe just under 30 minutes. But in saying that, you don't have to do the full 3 minutes, and or you can do more than 3 minutes. I would say, as a general rule of thumb, a minimum of 1 minute is required. And that's just so that you can allow the energy from your hands, from your palms, to settle into the body. And so what I do is I use my phone. I turn it on to night mode or airplane mode so that I'm not going to be disturbed. And if you're ever practicing this on your own, just as a side note, you can use the timer, the stopwatch on your phone, set it to 3 minutes. Alternatively, there are certain tracks on Spotify, which I will include in the notes for this recording. And whether you're alive or you've just opted for the recording, you will receive the recording with the notes. And in those recordings from Spotify or that are on Spotify, it has an inbuilt 3-minute clock, like a little dinging bell that goes off. So you know to move your hands at the 3 minutes. But, alternatively, you could just listen to the sound of my voice and practice along with this recording and have the practice literally given to you each time that you sit down. If you are going to be downloading this recording, please make sure that you do that within the next 2 weeks, because I will be removing this link from the downloadables within the next 2 weeks. So you have 2 weeks to download it. All right. So let's begin. So the hand positions are as follows. Firstly, we take the base of our palm. Okay. And the aim is to have the base of the palm in and around a particular point. We try and keep our fingers closed as much as possible, and as opposed to pressing our hands really flat, we will create a bit of a cup just to reduce the pressure of the hands, because sometimes we can get, really intense and push. It's not supposed to be that. It's just literally allowing the palms to rest on top of these particular points. It's also important for me to mention that although we are going through hands-on healing practices, if you have not been attuned to Reiki 1 or Reiki 2, it's not the same. So you have the ability to treat yourself and to support yourself, because every single one of us has universal life force flowing within us. However, if you've been attuned to a Reiki 1 energy or a Reiki 2 energy, which is generally done when you undergo a Reiki training, so a Reiki 1 or a Reiki 2 training, and within those trainings you are attuned to the energy that is desired for a level 1 participant or practitioner. So even though I'm teaching you the hands-on healing, and it's great for you to practice these healing techniques with self, just know that there is a higher level of vibration for you to understand and embody at Reiki 1 and then Reiki 2 and so forth. Just needed to say that. So to begin with, hands on the crown of the head. This is your first level or first position. This is number 1. And so you're just literally pressing the hands onto the crown so that there's a little knob right at the top of the head. You want to kind of cover both of those little spots. Then the next one is to cup both hands over the eyes. So again, you don't want to press the hands too deep into the eye sockets. You're cupping them like you're holding a tiny little baby bird. Yeah. The third position is over the throat. So a couple of ways that you can do this. You can either press it at the back of the neck, so towards the bottom of the base of the neck and the throat, or you could hold the sides of the throat. Yeah. Then we have the back of the head, which is the base of the skull, and then just above the base of the skull. Okay. The next one is over the collarbones. So your hands are resting one and then the other. You can do either hand or arm on top, or you could just rest your palms on top of the collarbones, whichever is most comfortable for you. Then we have the solar plexus, which is this area just underneath the breasts. So this one here is interesting because there's a few different ways that you can place your hands. Firstly, middle fingers touching, elbows wide. You could cross your arms over, right? And again, it doesn't matter which arm is above which. Yep. And then I go into the heart space. Generally speaking, I like to have the left hand over the heart and the right hand over the left. The left representing the yin, the feminine, the nurturer, and the right, the masculine and the yang energy. So right over left. Yeah. And then we have the pelvis. So the pelvis, you can either place your hands one over the other. So my pinky finger's right into my pubic bone, and then my thumb nodule is literally here by my belly button. Yeah. So I'm placing them one next to the other. Or you could, if you like, have your hands resting over your hip bones. This is also really nice. Or you can have kind of a mixture of both, where you have the thumbs touching, and it either creates a little triangle here, or you could just rest your hands nice and easy over your pelvis. All right, and that's 8 different hand positions, which you can practice 3 minutes each. All right. So this practice will go for the next 25 minutes. We're going to begin. If you registered for this call, you would have already received a link to a playlist that you're welcome to play now on your own whilst we go through these hand positions, and I will guide you as to when to change your hand positions. So go ahead and use that playlist if you wish. If you don't have it, don't stress. I will also include it in the recording details. All right. So whenever you're ready, find a comfortable position, choose your seat. Get my timer on. And we begin, eyes closed. Take a few beautiful deep breaths into the belly. Allow your whole body to be here. That is not only the physical body being as still as possible, but also the mind, your heart space. Every single part of you is here. And we begin placing the hands over the crown. You may wish to close your eyes throughout this individual hand placements. And notice if you feel any shifts of energy, which you may not, and that's fine too. But become really interested in what it is that you're experiencing here now. Does your breathing change when your hands are on your crown? Does your body soften? Can you relax your face just a little bit more? Allowing the jaw to relax and the eyes to relax. The tongue to relax. And gently cup your hands over your eyes. Fingers facing upwards, perhaps your pinky fingers touching. The palms resting on your cheekbones. Really withdrawing the sense of sight Relaxing the shoulders. And even though you're cupping your hands, can you allow for the fingers to soften? You notice how the eyes relax into their sockets by simply covering the light. Shielding them from the light for these 3 minutes. Allowing your nervous system to relax even deeper. And feel the warmth radiating from your palms. And then gently cup your palms now over your throat again, or your neck. You may wish to either bring your palms on either side of your neck, or front and back is fine too. So whatever works for you and feels comfortable. Remembering to breathe slowly and gently. Notice if you can feel any energy moving through your body. And fine if you can't, no big deal. And just noticing and paying close attention. I always feel a swirling in my belly when I'm working with my throat. There are close acupoints that are connecting the stomach, the belly, digestion when we work with the throat center. Tummy is actually making gargling sounds right now. And so notice if you feel movement anywhere. And traditionally speaking, a lot of people will try and feel the energy moving where their hands are. But remember that the points in the body are not necessarily connected to where your hands are. They connect to various systems and organs in the body. And so, whatever you're feeling right now is perfect. Beautiful. And now we move through to the back of the head, base of the skull, one hand just above the base of the skull. I find this a really nourishing position, just to let the head hang back, and the hands to support the back of the head. Elbows wide, opening up through the chest and the heart space. And this is also a beautiful hand position to bring in just before you go to bed. You can lie down pretty comfortably with your hands cupping the back of your head. It's really calling in that Reiki energy, the universal life force, through the hands into the base of the skull to nourish your brain, help calm the mind. And can you relax the muscles in your neck? And calling in a sense of ease. And if the arms are getting tired, just take a couple of deep breaths, allowing the oxygen, your breath, to nourish your arms and give them strength. And of course, if you find it unbearably painful to keep your arms lifted, you can always relax them and release them whenever you feel you need to. Moving through to the collarbones. So either crossing your arms or even keeping your hands on either side. I like to cross them, and I also like to tuck them underneath my shirts. Kind of snuggle on in. And release that hand position. Bring your hands now over your heart space. For this one, I'd like for you to incorporate a tongue position too. So take the tip of your tongue and place it just where the teeth, the top teeth, and the gums meet. So the palate, shall I say. And just right behind the top teeth where it meets the palate. Hold the tongue there to close a circuit of energy with your hands over your heart space. Notice how this naturally relaxes the jaw. And perhaps you want to draw your eyes, even though they're closed, but draw them upwards so that they're looking towards the brow, even the center of the brow, to the third eye. Really activating the nerves. Remember, if any of these practices feel too heavy, too uncomfortable, just leave them out. And this is your practice. You get to decide what works for you and what doesn't. Release that hand position and now place your hands over your solar plexus. Either hands directly underneath the brow line. For men, it is over the rib cage. And for women, it's over the rib cage as well. So either bringing the tips of the fingers to touch, yeah, or you may even wish to stack your hands one on top of the other, or even wrap your arms around to hold the rib cage on either side. Whatever feels most comfortable for you. Just allowing your belly to relax as much as possible. Perhaps even noticing how the breath in and out expands and contracts the belly. And can you relax into the belly even more? And a deep sense of trust being cultivated as you relax into this energy. A sense of being held, and nurtured and being cared for. Again, bring your attention to your body, to your hands, resting on your solar plexus, and notice if you can sense any movement of energy, any sensations. And for your final hand position, bring your hands onto your pelvis in a couple of ways, either creating a little triangle with the fingers and the index and the thumbs, the index finger and the thumbs, or resting your hands on your hip bones, or even stacking your palms one on top of the other, or even resting one palm in the other. Relax your arms. And just release your palms. Let them rest onto your thighs. And just take a couple of breaths here before you return. Deep breath in through the nose. Long breath out the mouth. Two more like that. And bow your chin towards your chest. If you feel cold, bring your hands into a prayer position just in front of the heart space. I'm just paying some gratitude for the lineage of the Usui Reiki healing system, the masters that came before us to teach us this beautiful method of healing. A moment of gratitude for showing up for yourself, for spending the time to nourish your soul. And gratitude for the people that you have in your life, the things that you experience, the lessons that you've learned, and just for your life in general. Bring your thumbs to your third eye, to your lips, to your heart. Mm. Hmm. Thank you so much for practicing with me, with us. And as I mentioned, let me know if you have any questions. Have a beautiful day or night wherever you are. I'm going to stop the recording.